There are stories that creep into your mind quietly. Stories that begin with a simple moment and then tighten their grip until you can no longer pull away. You feel the tension rise with every choice, every secret, every smile that does not reach the eyes. This is one of those stories. A story about trust and fear. A story about power held too tightly and a woman who walks into a house, believing she has found a chance at a new life. She thinks she has stepped into safety. She thinks this family will save her from the shadows she carries. She thinks she finally has something to lose. She is right, but not in the way she expects. Her name is Millie. She is young, desperate for a second chance, and running out of places willing to open their doors to her. She carries a small bag that holds everything she owns. She carries a past she cannot rewrite. Her record is a warning printed in black and white, a mark that closes most doors before she even knocks. But she is determined to start again, to rebuild, to feel normal for once. When she arrives outside the Winchester home for her interview as a live-in housemaid, she studies the grand walls and wide windows and tells herself that this could be the place where her life begins again. The door opens. Nina Winchester stands there with a smile that feels too bright. It is a smile that wavers at the edges, a smile that does not match the worry lines near her eyes. She welcomes Millie inside. Everything in the house looks perfect. The floors shine. The furniture looks untouched. The air feels stiff. Millie senses something hidden, though she cannot name it. Nina speaks softly, asking questions that drift from warm to cold without warning. Her voice sharpens at odd moments. She forgets what she said earlier. She changes stories halfway through telling them. Millie notices, but she needs this job. She pushes her doubts aside. Then she meets Andrew Winchester, Nina's husband. He is calm and steady. He looks at Millie with polite distance, almost relief, like he hopes she might ease the chaos in the house. Their daughter, Cecilia, appears around corners with silent footsteps, clutching a doll with tired eyes. She watches Millie like she is trying to decide if she is a friend or an intruder. The interview ends quickly. Nina hires her on the spot. Room included. Meals included. A salary that feels like salvation. Millie lies in her new room that night, staring at the locked door. Not locked from the outside, locked from the inside. Because she locked it. Because she needs to feel safe. Her mind runs through the rules Nina listed. Keep the house spotless. Prepare meals. Watch Cecilia when needed. Never open the guest bedroom upstairs. Never question Nina's decisions. Always be available. It feels strange, but Millie forces herself to relax. This is her chance. She will make it work. The first days pass slowly. Nina's mood shifts like sudden weather. One moment she is warm, thanking Millie for her help. The next she is furious about a speck of dust on a shelf. She accuses Millie of forgetting simple instructions. She blames her for things that make no sense. She misplaces items and insists Millie stole them. The tone of her voice cuts deeper every time. Andrew apologizes quietly when Nina leaves the room. He tries to defend Millie in careful ways. He looks exhausted. He tells Millie that Nina has been under stress, that the house has not been peaceful for a long time. At night, Millie hears whispers from behind closed doors. Sometimes she hears Nina crying. Sometimes she hears arguing. Sometimes she hears nothing at all, and that silence feels worse. But she pushes forward. She cleans. She cooks. She takes care of Cecilia, who slowly opens up to her. The girl tells her that her mother gets confused, that she forgets things, that she gets angry when she feels scared. Millie listens, unsure of how far these confusions go. She keeps her observations quiet. Soon the tension sharpens. Nina begins to fixate on Millie more directly. She criticizes her appearance. She makes comments about her background. She threatens to fire her, then apologizes an hour later. As he accuses her of trying to make Andrew like her, she accuses her of lying about her past. Millie remains calm because she needs the money and she has nowhere else to go. Her record makes her vulnerable. Nina knows this. Millie feels the power imbalance every time Nina looks at her with narrowed eyes. The house transforms from a place of opportunity to a place of control. Every step Millie takes feels watched. Every drawer she touches feels like it might be open later to check her work. Nina's smile turns cold. Andrew drifts through the home with a tired expression. He tries to reassure Millie, but he never stands up to Nina directly. Millie senses that he has learned to keep peace by staying silent. One night, Millie enters the kitchen and finds crushed glass on the floor. Nina stands there holding a broken plate. She says Millie dropped it. Millie was upstairs at the time. Nina insists she saw her do it. Her voice rises. Her hands shake. Andrew steps in, his voice firm. He tells Nina that Millie was nowhere near the kitchen. Nina glares at Millie with something like hatred. Millie feels her stomach twist. Something inside this house is breaking. Days later, Nina accuses Millie of flirting with Andrew. She claims she saw them together even though Millie had only been serving dinner. The accusations grow louder and more extreme. Millie fears losing her job. She tries to reason with Nina, but Nina's voice becomes wild. She orders Millie to leave. Then she cries and begs her to stay. Millie feels trapped by the instability. She wonders if Nina is sick. She wonders if Nina needs help. She wonders why Andrew never takes decisive action. The truth is slowly forming in Millie's mind. There is something off in this marriage. Something built on fear and secrets. But she cannot place it yet. Millie finds a locked door upstairs. The guest bedroom. The one Nina told her never to enter. Every time she walks past it, she feels something behind it. A presence. A memory. A warning. She cannot explain why the door unsettles her. She tries to avoid it, but her curiosity intensifies when she notices Nina staring at the door with a strange expression, almost like she is guarding it. One afternoon, Nina forces Millie to take Cecilia out of the house. When they return, the air is thick. Nina looks frightened. The guest bedroom door is slightly open for the first time. Millie pauses. Nina rushes over and slams it shut. Her hands tremble. She tells Millie to stay away from it. Her voice cracks. Millie wants to ask questions, but something in Nina's eyes stops her. There is fear there. Real fear. A few days later, Nina gives Millie a dress. She says they are hosting a dinner, and she wants Millie to look nice. The tone is strangely warm, almost friendly. Millie tries to accept the gesture as a good sign. During the dinner, Nina acts charming in front of the guest, kind to Millie, proud of her work. Andrew seems relieved. Millie feels hope stirring. Maybe things are finally improving. But after the guests leave, everything shatters. Nina storms into the kitchen and screams that Millie embarrassed her. She claims Millie spoke to the guest inappropriately. She says she ruined the evening. Millie stands frozen as Nina hurls insults. Andrew tries to intervene. Nina pushes him away. She knocks over a glass. She seems unhinged. Millie realizes this cycle will never end. Later that night, Nina approaches Millie with shaky hands. She apologizes again. She says she cannot control her emotions. She says she needs help. She says Andrew is making her feel unstable. Millie listens carefully. She notices the way Nina chooses her words, the fear in her tone, the desperation. Millie starts to wonder if Nina might be in danger. She realizes she knows almost nothing about Andrew beyond the calm exterior he shows. The next morning, Nina disappears for hours without telling anyone. When she returns, she looks pale and shaken. She says she had a panic attack. Andrew questions her. She snaps at him. Millie watches them with new eyes. She sees how Andrew's calmness might be a mask. She sees how Nina's fear might have a deeper cause. Then everything changes. Millie wakes up one night to a muffled scream. She rushes downstairs. She finds Nina curled in the corner of the living room, shaking uncontrollably. Nina whispers that someone was in the house. Andrew arrives seconds later. He says Nina is imagining things. He says she needs rest. He tells Millie to go back to bed. Millie obeys, but she does not sleep. She hears soft footsteps in the hallway long after the house quiets. She begins to fear both of them. She begins to feel trapped in this web of secrets. Then comes the day that shatters the truth open. Nina asks Millie to accompany her to a doctor's appointment. They leave the house together. But Nina takes a sudden turn and stops the car in an empty parking lot. Her hands grip the wheel. Her eyes fill with tears. She tells Millie she needs to talk. She tells her that she is not sick. She is not unstable. She is not confused. She is scared. She claims Andrew is the reason she fears for her life. She says he manipulates her, controls her, watches her every move. She says he punishes her when she tries to leave. Millie listens, stunned. This does not match the man she has seen. But the pieces begin to line up in new ways. Nina's mood swings. Her constant apologies. Her fear of the locked room. Millie asks about the guest bedroom. Nina answers with shaking breath. She says that room holds the truth about her marriage. A truth Andrew does not want anyone to see. They return home in silence. Millie keeps her distance from Andrew, unsure of what is real. She starts watching him closely. His calmness feels deliberate. His kindness feels conditional. She wonders if Nina told the truth or lied to manipulate her. She feels caught between two realities. Then Millie finds a key in Nina's jewelry box. A small silver key that looks like it belongs to the locked room. She hesitates for hours. She knows this could cost her everything. But she needs to know what is behind that door. One night she walks down the hallway with shaking hands. She pushes the key into the lock. The door opens. Inside she finds a room arranged like a perfect replica of another life. Dresses hung neatly. Photos on the wall. A bed that looks lived in. A faint scent in the air. She steps closer to a photograph. The face is familiar. It is Andrew's first wife. She disappeared years ago. The official story is that she ran away and never came back. Millie realizes this room has been preserved exactly as it was, like a shrine or a prison. She finds personal belongings that should have left with the woman who ran away. Clothes folded with care, letters half written, shoes lined neatly. No one leaves their entire life behind willingly. Millie feels her heartbeat pound against her ribs. She senses she has uncovered something dangerous. Behind a dresser, she finds deep scratches on the floorboards, scratches made by furniture dragged forcefully across the room. She finds a diary with pages missing. She sees the fear in the writing that remains, and the final line before the missing pages sends a chill through her. I need to get out before he locks the door again. Millie steps back. She feels breathless. She closes the door silently and returns to her room. She knows now that Nina's fear is real. She knows she must act carefully. Andrew cannot find out what she has discovered. The next morning, Andrew looks at her with unusual intensity. He asks if she slept well. His voice is calm to calm. Millie wonders if he already suspects her. She notices Nina watching them from the kitchen, her eyes wide with fear. That night, Andrew corners Millie in the hallway. He tells her that he appreciates her help. His tone is polite, but something in his eyes feels cold. He says he hopes she feels comfortable in the house. He steps closer. Millie forces herself to smile and say yes. She feels trapped. She senses danger rising around her. She decides she needs to leave the house, but Nina begs her to stay long enough to help her escape. Millie hesitates. She wants to help Nina. She wants to save her, but she also wants to survive. Nina tells her about a plan. They will leave the house during the day while Andrew is at work. They will drive far away. They will disappear. Millie agrees. She cannot abandon her. When the day arrives, everything unravels. Andrew comes home early. Millie and Nina freeze. Andrew stands in the doorway staring at them, his expression unreadable. He asks where they were going. His voice calm. To calm again. Nina stammers. Millie tries to speak. Andrew cuts them off. He says he is tired of lies. He says he will put an end to all of this. He tells Millie she is fired. He tells Nina they will talk privately. Nina starts shaking. Millie sees terror in her face. Then something inside Millie snaps. She refuses to leave. She stands between Andrew and Nina. Andrew steps forward. His expression shifts from calm to cold anger. In that moment, Millie realizes the truth. Andrew has been controlling Nina. He has been shaping her reality. He has been twisting her mind. He has been hiding the secret of his first wife. He is the danger in this house. The quiet danger wrapped in polite smiles. A struggle breaks out. Millie fights back with all the strength she has. Nina joins her. Together they push against the force that has held this house hostage for years. It is chaotic. It is desperate. But they refuse to give up. The fight ends with Andrew on the ground, not dead, not free, but no longer able to control them. Millie grabs Nina and pulls her out of the house. They run into the night, breathing hard, hearts racing, knowing they have escaped something dark. Days later, the police uncover the truth about Andrew. The dark history, the missing wife, the manipulation hidden in the walls of the Winchester home. Millie stands with Nina as the reality unfolds. She feels relief. She feels fear. She feels strange gratitude for the role she played in saving them both. Millie starts a new life again. She believes in her own strength now. She knows she can survive anything. She knows danger can hide behind polished smiles and perfect houses. She understands the value of trusting her instincts. She sees that courage is not always loud. Sometimes it is a quiet decision to keep going even when fear threatens to stop you. The Winchester house becomes a place of truth instead of secrets. Nina begins to rebuild her life. She grows stronger. She sees her daughter smile again. And Millie finds freedom in the knowledge that she did not run from darkness. She faced it. The story of the housemaid is a reminder that fear begins as a whisper. It grows when ignored. It tightens when denied. But it can be broken when someone chooses to stand up, even when they feel powerless. Danger thrives on silence. Safety grows from courage. If you found yourself inside a place that felt wrong, would you stay silent or would you fight your way out? Would you trust your instincts or convince yourself everything is fine? Your answers can shape your life. Let this story stay with you. Let it remind you that you deserve safety, truth, and peace. If you want more journeys like this that pull you into the heart of human courage and hidden danger, stay with this channel. The next story begins soon, and you will want to hear it from the very first. Moment.